Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Ray with Wisdom on Wednesday, and I'm excited that you chose to hang out with me yet again today. Give me a little bit of time to introduce a thought, to maybe bring some thoughts back to your remembrance. Help us to continue to come to a space of chasing down this wisdom journey. I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying this ride that we're on. Do me a favor. Leave a comment. I know many people view and they just move on and go about their day. But if this content is blessing you, this content is encouraging to you, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. The more you comment, the farther out the algorithm will go. And many people have the opportunity to see this video. So back to business. I was spending time with God, praying and looking for something that would actually help me to grow. And what I've learned as the opportunity is to be able to share messages, I'm not able to share anything that's not for me. So many times I receive a message, and those that care to hear what I have to say get the overflow of what I've already received. So here we go, wise friends. As per usual, spending time with God. This is a word that I want to talk through, encourage us all with today. Wise people. It's time to take the next step. Wise people, it's time to take the next step. I have a vivid picture in my mind of when my baby sister started walking. We're 9 years apart, but it was so exciting to see somebody that was actually birthed. I watched my mom's stomach grow. I was able to see her a few minutes old and actually watch her grow, standing on her own, being able to speak and be able to ask for certain things. But one of the most exciting things for us as a family was to be able to see her stand on her own, have the courage and the wherewithal to eventually start taking steps. But when I think about those things and pontificate on one of my most favorite scriptures is the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And far too often, many people over spiritualize the content of the Bible. And we think that just because God's in it, God has to do all the work. But as we understand that we must have faith, but we also have faith that has some work associated with it. So when I think about the process in which God has already instilled into every human being, the ability to stand, the ability to walk, but ultimately to go from standing to walking isn't something that just happens. It's something that happens over time. Confidence is built up over time. Stability is built up over time. Mobility is built up over time. And I want to walk out that process today, and purposely we can look at the way our lives are going, or possibly look at some of the dreams that we have stored away, or some things that actually have us paralyzed because we've forgotten how to walk. You see, when you walk, you first have to have a starting point. I think this is paramount for anybody who has dreams, goals, aspirations. Before you can get to where you're dreaming of, you have to first realize where you are. And when you realize where you are, you have to first find out if you have firm foundation. And if you have a firm foundation, it's easier for you to find your footing when you have a firm foundation. You see, it's difficult to walk on a mattress. It's not impossible, but it's more difficult to walk on a mattress because when you walk on a mattress, it gives away at certain points because it's designed for comfort. But if you really want to stand on firm foundation, you're standing on things that are uncomfortable. You're standing on things that are solid. You're standing on things that gives you the ability and the confidence to push off and to start this walk. So before we get down into the components of moving, we first have to appreciate where we're standing. Have you really evaluated and calculated the place that you're standing? Unfortunately, many of us don't evaluate properly where we're standing because we're looking at where we're going. And when you look too far, too fast at where you're going, you sometimes depreciate where you're standing. So it's time to take the next step. Because before you take the next step, you have to first realize where you are, where you're starting from, where's your process starting from, where's your goals rooted in, what direction are we going in. So as we reach out, as we start this process of walking, of taking the next step, we first have to decide to allow our entire body to be in one step, to be in unison, to be in the same direction. You see, we don't want to be double-minded. You want to walk forward, but you don't want to have your mind in duplicity about the steps that hurt you. You don't want to constantly be thinking about the steps that you left, because it's difficult to walk forward when you're always considering the past. So we're focused on where we're standing. So before we can take a step, we have to assess where we currently are. And where we currently are is the space that was built to challenge us. Where we currently are was the space that fortified us. Where we currently are is the place that grew us up. You see, growing up is difficult. Growing up is uncomfortable, but growing up is rememberable. There'll be things that happen in our past that we don't want to revisit those things, but we'll never forget them. And those are the best lessons in life. I know where I'm leaving that's motivating me to take the next step. I know what I don't want anymore. So now I have motivation to take the next step. What's important in taking that next step? You see, once you in your mind decide which particular leg is going to start first, you have to decide which leg is moving. And once you've coordinated in your heart and your mind and your spirit, I'm going to move my right leg first. So if I'm going to move my right leg, I have to start swinging my arms. And if my right leg is moving, I need my left arm to start moving at the same time, so I have some coordination. You see, wise friends, we can't just move by every whim. There must be a coordinated plan. There must be a strategy. There must be something that will keep us in step. There must be something that motivates us, that allows us to not just be like a paper bag in the wind. That what is motivating us, what's guiding us, what's going to keep us in step with our dreams, what's going to keep us in steps with our goals, what's going to keep us in step with what the Lord would have for us. You see, there must be coordination. That you must be in a space to where you are trying to live in a space where you're pouring into your spirit, coordination. You're pouring into your physical man, coordination. You're pouring into your emotional man, coordination. You're resting to make certain that your body is able to ultimately understand and perform at the highest level. It's very difficult to walk when you have old, tired bones and joints. But you have to nourish and take care of your bones and your joints so you can continue to take the next step. That's a physical example, but it's also spiritual and emotional. If we don't take time to evaluate where we've come from and the scars and the wounds that we have and the inflammation of where we used to be, it's going to be difficult to take the next step. Don't miss this, because we will be timid about taking the next step because of the scars of our last assignment. So be in a space to where you recognize where your inflammation comes from and try your best to take those things out of your diet, to take those things out of your everyday doing, because whatever you put in is going to show up in your steps. You see, now we have where we started from. We have coordination of moving in some type of rhythm. And ultimately, in order for us to properly take the next step, we must have balance. You see, you just can't take a step and just hope all willy-nilly everything's going to work out. One of the most funny pictures in my mind is when a young girl first starts trying to wear some high heel shoes. And I have this thing I say with some people that I love, that girl sure enough strutting, walking like a dinosaur. That's a very unnatural movement. It's a beautiful shoe. It makes people feel good and confidence. But if you do not have proper balance, you might look good in them shoes, but you're going to soon hit the floor. So when you take a step, you have to evaluate that I'm balanced in my approach of moving in the direction in which God has called me to. What does balance look like? Balance looks like making certain that I'm giving God my all. Balance looks like I'm resting and I'm making certain I'm available for my family and not just for everybody. Balance looks like I might not be the life of the party anymore, but I am doing things that are making me happy. Balance means that I cut down on my screen time and spend some time with the Lord. Balance means that I'm making certain everything that I enjoy, I'm equally working hard for. Balance. It's difficult to walk in the direction that the Lord would have us to when our lives are out of whack. When the Lord asks us to live a certain way, but we want to live the way we want, that's out of balance. It's difficult to drive a beautiful car, get some brand new tires on it, got your rims going, got your music going, but when you're going down Jefferson on your way to Belle Isle, the entire car is shaking because you forgot to get the tires balanced. Just because something looks the part, just because something fits the part, it still has to be balanced to work the way it was properly designed. So we got to make certain we're balanced as we take our steps, because you can't just take a step if you don't have proper footing. You have to make certain the foundation that you leave from, you also have the same confidence in where your foot is going. Now, since we have balance now, we have to make certain that when our foot lands, which portion of our foot is going to hit first. It's very difficult to take a step and start on your toe and then put your heel down. But in the military, I learned the most succinct way to walk is to heel toe, meaning that as I take a step, I'm focusing that the heel of my foot touches the ground before my toe. And I love that picture that it puts in my mind, because in order for me to walk in the direction that the Lord has me walking in, I have to consciously leave behind those things that I'm leaving. So my heel represents my past and my toe represents the direction in which I'm going. So my heel has to touch the ground first to let my new know where I came from. And my toe is soon coming behind it to point me in the proper direction that the Lord would have me to go. It doesn't always feel like I'm moving in the right direction, but it's difficult to understand where the Lord is taking you if you don't take a step. You'll never understand if you're moving in the right direction if you stand still in safety and comfort. You'll never recognize if you're moving in the right direction if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity and the perfect season to take a step. Sometimes, beloved, you have to take a step when you're not sure where you're going to put your foot. Sometimes you have to take a step not knowing, not sure of how the next step is going to be. Take your next step. You've been dreaming about that thing. You can see it. You can taste it. Take the next step. Is it time to reconcile a relationship? Take the next step. Is it time to repent? Take the next step. Is it time to stop complaining and start thanking the Lord for everything He's done? Take the next step. You can't continue to stand still, because if you consider yesterday and you're in the exact same spot that you were in yesterday and you're still complaining like you did yesterday, it seems like you're standing in the same spot crying over the same spilled milk. Take a step. Are you tired of being in this same situation? Take a step towards God. Take a step towards wholeness. Take a step towards manhood. Take a step towards womanhood. Take a step at being a father whose children can set their clocks by you being at home on time. Take a step at being the man that you wanted somebody to be for you. Take a step of being the mother, being the wife, being the woman that you desire somebody to be for you. Take a step to recognize that life is short. What impact will you leave on this space? What will you teach the people who watched you walk after the Lord's constructions? What will people remember about the things that you did with the time that was allotted for you? I want you to understand, walking is a process that many people take for granted. But when you slow down and measure your steps, pay close attention of the people that you allow to put their steps under your table. Pay very close attention of the people who always have something slick to say about the direction in which the Lord is taking you. Be very careful of the people that you allow to dissuade you from taking the next step. People who love you will encourage you to keep on trusting. People who love you will encourage you to try all your dreams. The people who love you will encourage you to do things to fulfill everything that the Lord has put in your heart. But a friend of me will always tell you to be careful. You might get hurt. You might stub your toe. Don't take advice from anybody who's never taken a step, because some people are afraid of watching you take a step because they're afraid that you'll walk farther than they did. I pray that this word was encouraging to you. It certainly was encouraging to me. I never want you to forget that God loves you more than you can possibly imagine. Take God at His word, and God will take care of you. This is Ray with Wisdom on Wednesday. Have yourself a wonderful day and a blessed week. Take care.